see a catalyst that forces Congress to move quickly and get things across the line. The other piece of that is I don't want the DeFi piece of it to go poorly and it to be regulated in a way that causes that not to be adopted by the banks and institutions. So I would rather them be a little bit more methodical about that and get it right. Brad Garlinghouse has talked about, don't let perfect be the blocker from progress. If it's regulated the wrong way, it's going to be really rough. If there's too much red tape and oversight, it's going to be very difficult to see proliferation of that. And it's really going to reduce the amount of protocols and networks that can actually be adopted by the institutions. I think that's going to happen anyway. But I would like to see, we all think it's going to be a multi-chain world, and I would agree with that. So, the more competition that's out there, that's better for the consumer base and the institutions themselves. And the more people that can meet the standards or requirements that are set up, the better. But you still need some stringent stuff to make sure that there's oversight, there's accountability, there's disclosures. There's a lot of stuff around that needs to be done the right way. And I don't know that the bill's drafted the right way as of yet. But it could pass later this year. It could be, if they get it done before August recess, I'd really like to see that. I just don't know that that's going to happen with the SAVE Act continuing to go back and forth. They got the PACE Act there. They have some other things that they need to get through. You're going to have to meet the filibuster. You're going to have to convince at least 7 to 9 Democrats to vote for the changes in the bill, which is going to be hard to do because they stripped out a bunch of the recommendations by the Democrats on the bill. They barely got it to pass, to be the vote, to get it to the filibuster. And once they do that, then they have to pass it in the Senate. It then has to go back to the House and be reconciled with them because they passed a different form of the bill. And then after that, it would go to the president's desk to be signed. So they just move slow. Congress moves slow. I don't have a whole lot of hope. I'm still 95.5 that they get it passed this year. Are we there yet? 86, he says, Big Jake, can you give us some numbers on potential payouts at the $100 XRP? Seems like a 4 to 5%, just enough to pay for custody and taxes. 10K XRP, thank you for all that you do. God bless. It depends on if we get a tier 1 designation for the asset. If we do, and a lot of prime brokers